So I want to talk to you about win-win. What does that even mean, win-win? You often hear people express the term win-win, but I want to break it down a little bit for you so it's easier to understand, and so you can apply it and understand how to approach things in a win-win fashion. In life, there tends to be two paradigms. One, I win. Two, you win. If you're always winning, I'm not going to want to be a part of that. It's certainly not sustainable. But if I'm always winning, you're not going to want to be a part of it. So how do we arrange relationships, negotiations, transactions, arrangements, whatever it is? How do you take in mind this whole idea of win-win? Now, it really comes down to how do you define a win? So let's talk first that person A here, the win to them looks like the orange. For person B, the win is like the blue. They have a bigger range where they feel like they come away and they've won. So person A in the orange, smaller window, person B, bigger window. And as long as there's an overlap, there's a deal to be had that is a win-win arrangement. But if person B negotiates really hard to get more of what's better for them, it's going to be a lose for person A. Let me show you how this works in a different way. We know that if I am always winning, it's like I'm exerting extra pressure over you, or you're giving up too much. But either way, if I'm always winning and you're always losing, that's kind of like I'm the bully. But if you're always winning and I'm always losing and I tolerate that, whether it be a marriage or any other relationship like that, or negotiations, business relationships, if I'm always losing and I let you win and it's not a good deal for me, I'm being a doormat. And to have proper boundaries, healthy boundaries in life, you cannot be a doormat. But it means that the other person may be a bully and or I'm being a doormat. Neither of those two are sustainable positions because there's a lose in there. And so often, and we get it, lose-lose isn't sustainable either. It doesn't make sense for anybody, and so you question, why do we even get involved in those kinds of situations? But we so often, if we're at odds with each other or on different ends of the spectrum, we often will say, I tell you what, let's meet in the middle. The challenge is the middle may not be a win for both sides, and it instead represents a compromise. And by definition, a compromise is not a win. It's more on the lose-lose side of things. And so much of this, I get it, is psychological. You want to come to an understanding. You want to come together psychologically. And so it's important psychologically to have the conversation somewhere along the line, and ideally up front, and ask the other person, what is a win for you? Let me give you an example. And a really good example of this comes from the way my wife and I have learned to vacation, especially since we've been empty nest for the last 10 plus years. And the way it works is this. When we go on vacation, I like to do certain things. She likes to do other things. And there's some things we like to do together. The question is, and it's a good conversation for us to have, is to ask each other, what is a win for you on this vacation? And if she asks me that question, I will answer always with to play golf. And if I ask her what a win is, she would say to go shopping, to lay at the pool, to read a book, and some of those things. Now, if we compromised and I didn't get to play golf and she didn't get to do the things that she wanted to do, and instead we found some things were just down the middle, it may not be a great vacation. However, if I get to play golf and she gets to do the things that she wants to do, that's win-win. And so we have found a way. I go golfing in the morning and she reads a book, leisurely gets her day started, It might even go shopping. It's a win-win for us. And then we get together for a late lunch. We spend the rest of the day together, and it's a great vacation. So bear in mind, if you get to a point where you're trying to meet in the middle, you're more likely than not, you're compromising, and it's more lose-lose. What you've got to do is have the conversation as to what is a win-win. What's a win for me? What's a win for you? And be able to find that place down the middle, or not in the middle, but that overlap where it works for both of you. And if you take this approach and you are mindful that you're not a bully and that you're not a doormat, you're mindful of what is a win to the other person and have that conversation, chances are you're going to come away feeling so much better about the arrangement. And that is going to boost customer experience and reduce cognitive dissonance after the transaction from feeling like maybe I could have done better. I hope that makes sense. I hope that is helpful to you today. Put that into practice, get a better customer experience.